Even my mom has been doing a lot of pujas because I recently turned 32 as well, and apparently I want to get married. I say apparently because she decided on my behalf. That's what parents do, right? My mom, even as a kid, she never asked me like, Navin, do you want to pee? She will just drag me to the bathroom and shout, pee! And I will be like, but I don't feel like peeing. And then she will ask me this question. She'll be like, how do you know? I'm like, I don't know, my pee knows. 30 years later, same strategy with the marriage, dude. She randomly shouts at me. She's like, Navin, marry. Even if I'm like, I don't feel like marrying, she's like, who knows better, me or you? I'm like, still my pee only. Even the last time my mom showed a photo, she was like, Navin, look at this girl. Sanskari. Cleavage also is showing one side only. Like, that is different, mom. But I looked at the photo deeply. I told her, mom, but she doesn't look like a Brahmin. And my mom was like, Navin, how many times do I tell you, you are not Brahmin in the first place? And I was like, that's exactly why I want to marry a Brahmin. I'll explain you, not just me. I feel like every guy in India should marry a girl who's slightly upper caste than him. Well, that way there will be equal power dynamics in the relationship. That way the guy's sexism will be cancelled out by the girl's casteism. And it will be a family of equal hypocrites. I don't know about you, your choice, bro. But I'm going to marry a Brahmin, man. It will be easy, right? Every time the girl is like, you guys have oppressed us for thousands of years, I can be like, same to you. Every time I get cocky, I tell the girl, hey, go to the kitchen and cook. That's where you belong. She can be like, go to the bathroom and clean. That's where you belong. Telling you, it's your choice. It should happen worldwide, right? Like, black guys should marry Asian girls. Asian guys should marry white girls. White guys should marry Brahmin guys in India. I don't know. Complete the circle, I guess. I'm telling you, like, finally, it's like Bangalore is getting Chennai spirit, dude. That's when like, you don't worry about other issues. Even if you have personal issues, you blame it on the weather. This time it happened. One of my friends, he told me, like, dude, I don't know why they have elections in summer. I don't want to go out and vote when it's 36 degrees Celsius outside. Until that point, I didn't know my friend had a temperature threshold, beyond which he doesn't care about democracy. It's almost like at 32 degrees Celsius, it's left liberal. But at 34 degrees, it's like, yeah, let Modi ji come back, Too hot to care about the country, dude, Dude, sometimes even people, they blame their own issues on the weather, dude. Not even kidding. This is a conversation I heard in Chennai between my grandmother and mother over the phone call, okay? I got newly married, right? So my grandmother asked my mom. She was like, hey, is there any good news from Navin? You know what good news means, right? She wanted to know if I have ganja with me. Just kidding. You know what good news means? And for this, my mom in front of me told her, like, no, he's waiting for the summer to end. She said it in Tamil. It's even funnier. She was like, summer muditon wait pandraapla. Mudijone process start panniduvaapla. Which literally translates to, I'm waiting for summer to end for the process to start. Dude, I can't believe like my own mom in front of me told my grandmother that I'm not sleeping with my wife because it's too hot. Which is kind of true at times though. But she can't assume that, right, dude? I'm telling you, this happens to every Chennai couple, okay? Probably it's going to happen this year in Bangalore as well. Every Chennai couple has had that one summer evening where both of them are lazy, both of them are horny. But the moment they touch each other, like, too stinky, bro. Let's do it in the night, okay? It's either that or the only other option is switch on the AC and awkwardly wait for 10 minutes. Which is even worse. By the end of 20 minutes, like, the room is cold, but you're not hot anymore. They're like, of you here have taken a shower with your partner? She has, he hasn't. Happens, people have life, I don't want to assume anything. I'm not asking to bully or anything, okay? I am asking only because I only recently had this experience and I found out that it is not as much as a romantic activity. Especially when you like cold showers and your partner likes hot shower. Suddenly this fun encounter becomes a game of Coco. You're like, you go. She goes, she comes back, she's like, Navin, you go. Not something I expected, dude. I learned it the hard way. Firstly, I'll tell you guys, okay, I like cold showers. I really love cold showers because I was raised poor. There was no other option for me. Every morning my mom was like, Navin, what do you want today? Hot water or sambar? I was like, today also sambar, I'm hungry. That's what poverty teaches you, right? It makes you like things that are cheaper. No, I like Maggie. People say, hey, it takes only 2 minutes. I'm like, for 12 rupees, let it take 2 hours. I have all the time, just not enough money. I like Old Monk. People say, man, it's an acquired taste, man. I'm like, no, man, it's an affordable taste. That's why we all like Old Monk. Acquiring taste I can do for Jack Daniels also. So this is what happened, okay? I was 1 year back, I was in my shower and... I do it sometimes, I'm sorry. I was in the shower and this girl knocked at the door and she was like, hey Navin, let's take a shower together. My girlfriend only, man. She's laughing like, you don't look that macho also. Random girls on the street knocking at your door like, hey bro, come bro, shower with me bro. Not that cool also, ma'am. She asked me this and I was excited about the opportunity, but at the same time I was slightly conscious because I didn't want her to judge my hygiene based on the way I take my shower. And 32 years old, I still don't know whether the way I take my shower is the correct way to take shower. I just have a ballpark. Sex and shower, I do it in the same way. I was like, maybe this is how people do it. You can't cross-verify such things with your friends also, right? You can't even go to your best friend and be like, hey Anand, how do you take your shower? Underwear on or underwear off? What is your methodology? You can't even ask such questions. Probably the only way to find out is to go to the internet and find out. I'm telling you, once I wasn't embarrassed. I went to the internet, started typing, how do I take mine? And Google auto-completed shower. And I felt happy. I was like, there are enough chutias in this country who are searching for this shit. I'm not the only one, bro. And Google showed me some content also, but the problem is most of this content is from first world nations, right? Like UK, US. And these guys use equipments that I'm not even aware of. Like jacuzzi, hand shower. Every time I'm watching the video, I'm like, hey man, relax. Bucket, mug, hammam soap. So I wanted to get an iPhone, so I went to my mom. I told her, I'm planning to get an iPhone. Can I please? So that's what happened. I asked this to my mom and she was like, Navin, don't get it. It's expensive. It's not worth the money. And I was also like, okay, cool. But the problem is a week later, she came back to me and she was like, Navin, we are planning to get a car for your father. Your father will take care of the down payment. You have to take a loan for the remaining amount, pay it back and prove that you're a great son. And I was like, I'm not even trying to prove that I'm a good son here. What is this unrealistic expectation you have? And then she was like, no, Navin, if you get this car, they are giving 2 iPhones for free. You can take one, your father will take one. We'll become an iPhone family. And that is when I started staying hungry, staying foolish. Of all the ways I could get an iPhone in India, I thought this must be the best way. 3 ways to get an iPhone: Flipkart, Amazon, Honda, Amazon. That's what I thought. I fell for the trap, got the loan. My father took care of the down payment as promised. The entire 15,000 rupees.
That's how they cheat you, right? They show you a photo, they are like, hey, pay rupees 3,000 only and start owning this 8 BHK river facing bungalow. And you're like, bro, that is Taj Mahal, bro. And you check your wallet, you get cocky. You're like, what, 3,000? I have 3,200 in there. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. And they're like, yeah, you can buy it, but you will never own it. That's how loans work in India. I fell for the trap. I got the loan. The next 3 years was the most difficult period in my entire life. Because the first of every month I will get a message from my bank that says, hey Navin, your salary of rupees 27,000 has been credited in your account. And immediately I'll get another message that says, hey Navin, your EMI of rupees 33,000 has been credited from your account. And the worst thing is both these messages will come to the same iPhone. Which will run out of memory for receiving text messages. And then I got a call from a random number. A girl with a very sweet voice was like, hi sir, we are calling from HDFC. You haven't paid your February EMI yet. And I was like, but my EMI was over in January. And she was like, sir, who told you that? That is when I realized that I told myself that my EMI was over. And 3 years is a long time. I fucked up. I forgot. I missed there was another EMI. I calculated it like my 10th standard math exam. You remember whenever the sum is complicated, you write LHS equal to RHS, explode, thinking no one will ever find out. I did it with my life. Thinking no one will ever find out. HDFC people are cruel. She was like, sir, you have to pay it immediately. And I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. I need at least 2 weeks to pay this back. And she was like, sir, if you take 2 weeks, your CIBIL score will go low and you might not be able to take another loan. Right? And that is when I took it seriously. I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I said 2 weeks. Now I'm going to take 2 months to pay this. Because whatever the CBSE score you're talking about, I want it to go so low that I never get another loan in my entire fucking life. I don't have the self-control. I need such life hacks to protect me from myself. And then she was like, sir, if you take 2 months and all, like we have to send you a court notice. And that annoyed me as well. How did it suddenly escalate from a number to suddenly me being in jail? I don't even mind going to the jail. But my problem is, as a comedian in this country, if I ever get arrested, I at least want it to be for a joke, right? I don't want the newspaper headlines to read comedian in prison for not paying EMI on time. You guys will read the news, you'll be like, I went for his show, what? Too. Should find better comedians, man. Great, even as a kid, I used to grow up in Chennai, okay? I used to love beaches. Hey! Ma'am, I like the fact that you're laughing, but you're laughing at all the wrong points. Now I really want to know, why did you laugh at that? One word she no, I won't, fuck you, tell me the reason. No, just kidding. I don't want to fuck you. Like those people are the only audience we have, I don't want to ruin them. The wisdom of even more. But I'm telling you, I used to grow up in Chennai, I used to love beaches, okay? So... Now, like, even if I let it go, everyone is curious. What is funny about that? No, fuck the Tamil. Tell the answer, okay? I don't want to see your Tamil speaking abilities here. I will try one last time, okay? If you laugh again, okay? Man, fuck the joke only. I'm not from Chennai. I'm moved to Bombay now. I'm one among you people.
No, please continue.
No, it's okay. I'll tell you later in one phone call or something. It's okay. Only you seem to enjoy the joke way too much. I went on this date. We were talking about books and stuff, and this girl suddenly tells me, Navin, I'm a Bengali, so I don't read Harry Potter. And for a brief moment, I was like, maybe it's a Bengali stereotype. Maybe Rabindranath Tagore asked them not to read Harry Potter. I have no idea about Bengalis, right? And then she started explaining me. She was like, Navin, as a Bengali, I'm a staunch communist. And I think Harry Potter is a pretty capitalistic book, where all the proceedings only went to J.K. Rowling. Yeah. After listening to that logic, I started having more respect for my Mallu alcoholic friend. I was like, at least that guy didn't talk about Fidel Castro and all. Who's this girl, man? Dude, I got so annoyed with her. I wanted to teach her a lesson, right? So I started dating her. And then I made up my own stereotype. She had no idea either. So first week she was like, Navin, let's join the gym this week. I was like, hey, no, I'm a Tamilian. We don't go to gyms like that. Second week she was like, hey, Navin, do you want to make out tonight? And I was too tired. So I told her, hey, I'm a Tamilian. And today is Friday also. Are you no way? Just to stay true to my character, I never made out with her on any Fridays. Which would be weird if you looked at my internet history during those 2 months. You guys would be like, what is this weird habit this guy has? That he watches porn only on Friday. And then I would be like, yeah, that's also a Tamil stereotype. Go on with life. Dude, I don't know about who she's dating now, but I did enough damage to make sure that she never dates any Tamilian ever again. Yeah, I saved my community from that idiot. I took one for the team, I'm the real savior, man. I hope you guys understand it's a slightly exaggerated joke. Some of you are looking at me, really? No Fridays? Oh my god, what did you do, bro? No, I have to address this because once after the show, a girl came to me and she was like, hey Navin, that thing about Tamilians and Fridays, is that a true thing? And I didn't want to ruin her relationship. Right? So I said, of course it's true. Fridays no sex, Saturdays only anal. That's how we roll, Worst thing is, this girl was a Tamilian as well. Yeah. I don't know what she understood from my joke, but I'm sure she went to her grandmother that night. And she was like, Grandma, do you know about Tamilians and Fridays? Man. Honestly, I don't believe in any of these stereotypes. Actually, the only stereotype I believe in is what the National Pledge teaches us. It says all Indians or equally good chutias. Just different kinds of chutias. Like, I think that was the first version. Later on, they added all the brother, sister, mother chod, ban chod, I think that was the first step. They're just different assholes with different kinds of assholes, right? I know this because recently a friend of mine showed a video on Facebook. The video was of a Rajya Sabha MP addressing the parliament. And the MP says there are a lot of immigrants coming into India from Tamil Nadu. He meant to say Sri Lanka. He fucked up. He said Tamil Nadu and I was like, dude, what an asshole, man. And my friend started laughing. I was like, dude, why are you laughing? He was like, Navin, you know what's funny? This MP is from Arunachal Pradesh. He thinks he is part of India. I was like, what kind of an asshole are you? That's a sad part. But all these few fans also think I'm a busy person as a comedian. I tell you, I know this because someone recently texted me on Instagram and said, hello sir, I know you will be too busy to read this. I will repeat that, okay? Hello sir, I know you will be too busy to read this. And I was like, dude, I'm so idle, I read this message even before you sent it to me. The moment you decided to text me, I got up. I was like, someone is going to text me today. Open my Instagram already. I read the message and I felt sad for that guy. Because this is social media, right? Which means not only I have seen the message, but he has seen that I have seen the message. And that's horrible, right? Because I don't have a lot of fans, but I'm a fan of a lot of people. Imagine me messaging Sachin Tendulkar saying, "Hey Sachin, big fan." And I see a scene notification within 2 minutes. I will send another message, "Hey man, not a fan anymore. Do something better, man. Train Arjun Tendulkar. Go to the parliament." Why are you looking at my messages, dude? I'm also at this position in my career, I think, like, where sometimes people take photos with me after shows and they post it on their Instagram stories. But the problem is they don't tag me because they don't follow me. And I know they have posted the story because I follow them. I'm like, bro, I'm putting heart emoji and all, at least now tag me, no? I'll tell you the worst message I've gotten on Instagram though. One day after a show, the next day a guy texted me on Instagram saying, "Hey Navin, I came for your show last night." This is when you expect a second line to that conversation. I expected a second line, but there was no second line to the entire conversation. It was just a guy who randomly texted me, "Hey, I came for your show," and then put his phone on aeroplane mode. And then went to sleep for 8 hours straight. I started reading that message. I was like, "Hey man, you came for my show." And then what happened, bro? But that was horrible, right? This is my hypothesis. I think this guy hated my show so much that he researched about me. Found out that I'm a guy who likes closure. And then he built a situation where I expected closure. And then he was like, "Fucker, now die without closure." That message like fucked my head. I couldn't sleep for the next 2 days. I was consistently like, what did this guy want to tell me? And the universe about me. After 2 days, I gave up all my self-esteem. And I texted him back. I said, "Hello sir, I know you will be too busy to read this. But you came for my show, and then what happened?" And the worst thing is I got a reply also within 2 hours. And this guy said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I forgot." And then I got my closure. I was like, "Oh, my fan is an Alzheimer's patient." That's why they don't reply to my texts, I guess. Well, that's the problem. I've been doing this for 4 years. Sometimes my friends ask me, "Navin, when are you going to get famous?" And I always tell them, "Dude, just wait until you die." That is the ultimate solution to all our expectations, man. Like, because honestly, I'm not an over-ambitious guy. Like, my ambition in comedy is to become the 3rd best tier 2 comedian in Indiranagar first block. Now, if that happens, I'm a happy man, like, not just in comedy. I'm an average Indian guy who really loves his mediocrity in whatever I do. Even as a teenager, I used to love Harley Davidson. So, like any Harley fan in India, I got a Royal Enfield. No, and then I used to feel cheap about myself only until I found a guy who was a big fan of Royal Enfield. So he got himself this bike called the Bajaj Avenger. This distant cousin of Royal Enfield. Have you ever seen such shit, And I don't think it's just me, right? Most of us are like me. Like we wait for the release of iPhone 7 just to get an iPhone 6s. No, it's like how we all had that one crush in college who you really liked but then never approached because you thought you were mediocre for them. What, you guys are all machos or what? I know this happens. But the worst thing is 10 years later you see that photo on Facebook with that spouse and your immediate reaction is, "This mediocrity is worse than my mediocrity." A part of you dies inside, right? Like, I should have tried, And I don't think it's just as individuals. India as a country sends people to Olympics to get us silver and bronze. As a nation, we are like, "Hey, we don't need gold from you. We have dowry for that." That's how we operate. It's not even a joke. That's why Mary Kom wins a lot of gold. Because every time she walks into a ring, she doesn't see an opponent. She sees her in-laws and she goes, "I need gold today." And then starts punching them crazy. In Tamil Nadu called Chennai, if you guys know about it. That's the problem. Whenever I come out of Chennai, a lot of people think I'm a moron. So I always tell them, no, I am an oxymoron. Because I am a Tamilian who can speak Hindi.
But when I say I know Hindi better than most Tamilians do. So I'm the kind of guy who goes into a Punjabi dhaba and says, "Agali order, char roti chahiye." Mostly in Amitabh Bachchan's tone, because Kaun Banega Crorepati is the only Hindi show I ever watched in my life. When I need like 6 rotis, I can be, "Bhaiya, 6 roti chahiye." My problem really is when I need 12 rotis. Because that is when I have to say, "Bhaiya, 1-2 roti chahiye." See, you cannot really blame me because that is... Oh, okay, relax. So you cannot blame me because like that is how the railway station ladies taught me Hindi. For some reason it is always "Agali gaadi number 2014 aa gaya hai." That too with an orgasm every time she says it. 2014 aa gaya hai. Why can't she just fucking call it gaadi number 2000? You know, whatever. You Hindi speaking people in the house, like have you ever used the word "shunya" in any of your day-to-day conversations? No, right? It's not just with Hindi. Even when a Tamilian says his phone number in Tamil, it's always like 9, 7, 8, 0, 4, 3, 0. Just because we Indians invented zero, it has become an official word in every damn Indian language. The funniest thing is, for a very long time, I thought the phrase "Agali gaadi" meant the train is going to be very dirty. Which is apparently always true, right? Like, I thought it was a disclaimer from the railways department. I was like, our trains are fucking ugly, please don't enter it. Hindi is one language which always embarrasses me, man. Like, I used to work for this company called Amazon. And before you guys get any judgmental, I used to work as a software engineer there. I have to tell this because the last time I told a lady I work for Amazon, she was like, "Oh, which area do you take care of?" Happens when you look like a real estate agent, I guess. No, I used to go to my office in my office cab regularly, and there was this one fine day, a pretty North Indian lady was sitting next to me. And like an ass, I wanted to impress her with my Hindi. So I spoke to the cab wala saying, "Bhaiya, seedha chalte, signal ke aage, left se ruko." And for some reason, she smiled at me and said, "No language would help you, bro. Like, just shut up." It's not like I don't try to learn the language of Hindi. Like, that's why most of the times I go to my Hindi-speaking colleagues and try to create small talks with them, like asking them, "Kya bhai, kaise aap?" or something like. But as a Tamilian, I expect them to understand me and come up with simple replies. Like, "Acha hai," "Bahut acha hai." Or if they are not so happy, they can say, "Acha nahi hai." But that is when this fucking guy wants to mess up with me, comes up with big ass dialogues like, "Ek gaon mein ek kisan rehta tha ki kabhi khushi kabhi gam, sala kaad uski, achhe din aane wale hai." And then I have to go, "Acha hai," and I just walk away, not even staying there. With this level of Hindi, I had the audacity to go to Gurgaon, right? And, I was hungry. I went to this food center called Haldiram's. Have you guys heard of it? It's a self-service counter. So I got my food coupon and I gave my token to the food counter. And then I was waiting for my turn to be called. And then I realized this guy was shouting out token numbers in Hindi. And then my token number was 888. I immediately was like, "I'm going to starve tonight. Let me be ready." And I didn't want to give up. So I took out my Google translator. I typed 888 in numbers and then I said translate to Hindi, and the Google said like 888. I was like, "Google is stupid, man, what is happening here?" So I tried to be specific. I was like 888 in English and then translated it, and Google said 888 in Hindi. And for the next 5 minutes my goal was to remember it, so I started reciting 888, 888, 888. The guy was like 855. I was like, "No, 888, 888, 888. The guy's like 888. I'm like, "No, 888, 888. Atiban is not a number, it's just my friend's name, like whatever." So 5 minutes later, my turn came out and the guy shouted, "Token number 888." This railway station ladies, man, like I hate them.